Let's talk about how to use the best sound options in the Mevo ecosystem. I'm Jason Hoffman. My goal is to help you have the confidence to just press go live. When we talk about the best sound options in our streams or in our recordings, we have to talk about the sources of sound, the microphones we might use, but we also have to talk about the sound settings in the Mevo apps that are available to us. Let's start with the built-in microphones. On the top of a Mevo Start, there are 3 holes, and that is the 3 microphone array that allows sound to be picked up from wherever this camera is mounted. It's where most folks start. It's what's built in, and it does a pretty good job. If I'm going to be using this microphone indoors, I need to make sure to have a full house if I'm using the built-in microphones, because if I'm in an empty room, it's going to echo pretty bad, and these microphones will pick up the echo. If I'm going to be using this camera outdoors, I need to make sure there's no wind, because on a windy day, these microphones will pick up wind. But it's a great way to get our audience, congregation, singing, that participation. It's a great way to get that in a full room. It's also a great way to get the crowd noise at a baseball, soccer game. So long as there's not wind, so long as it's not an empty room, we do really well with this built-in microphone. So let me let you hear what that built-in microphone sounds like in this room. I'll turn off the mic. We'll turn on the built-in microphone, and you can immediately tell the difference between the 2 microphones. I am only about 4 feet away from the Mevo that's recording this video. Yet, because the microphone is no longer here, it's over there, there's definitely a difference in this room. Well, if the built-in microphone isn't the answer, what's going to be the next best thing? I would say that a mini shotgun mic is going to be a... Let me switch back over. I would say that a mini shotgun mic is going to be a really good choice for a lot of people's live streams and recordings. A mini shotgun mic is going to be somewhat directional. It will pick up much more of what the microphone is pointed at. It will pick up a little bit less of what is behind the camera or microphone. And that's a good way to filter out some of the crowd noise that you might not want, especially if you're trying to stream or record at a game and you want a little bit less crowd noise, a little bit more game noise. There's a 3.5mm jack on the back of a Mevo Start, and that's going to be where our mini shotgun mic is going to plug in, and it will allow us a little bit better sound. If mounting the mini shotgun mic is an issue for you, I have designed and printed some cold shoe mounts that just slide over the back of our Mevo Start here. Have the option of 3 different cold shoe mounts. It just slides there on the back, and then you have a place to mount this microphone. We'll try plugging this microphone into the camera that I'm recording with and see what it sounds like as well. If you find this kind of content to be entertaining or enjoyable, would you mind smashing that like button? It's the best way I've found for YouTube to tell me to continue to produce content like this. Do we have any audio out of the mini shotgun mic? Just a little bit. There are some sound settings that we need to look at then to make sure we're getting the best use of what's plugged into the back of a Mevo camera. I have a settings wheel here in my audio slider on the very front page of my app. Now I'm in the multicam app. If you're in the single cam app, there's a 3-dot ellipsis on the bottom, and then there is a microphone icon on this side, and that gets me into the audio settings there. I have the choice of choosing either a line level or a mic level when I have a 3.5mm plugged into the back there, and that's through the settings wheel here in the audio slider. There's another audio settings section, and that is in the blue plus, which is our asset menu. There's an audio section, and I can tap there, and you can see that I have some options. The one that's chosen right now is 3.5mm line input. So the difference in sound from the studio microphone that I was using just a moment ago to what we have now to the built-in microphones, you can tell the difference between the 3 sources thus far. to get you hooked back up with a better quality sound. And now I'm back to running a USB microphone, my studio microphone, into this recording. So built-in microphones, 3.5mm jack for a mini shotgun mic, but that 3.5mm jack is not just for mini shotgun, it's also for our wireless lapel mics like the Rode Wireless Go that is so popular. I'm using the Nearstream AWM-20T. It is one that comes with some really nice touches. The charging case that will hold both the two transmitters, the two microphones, and the one receiver. It's going to come with my 3.5mm jack that's going to allow me to plug it into the back of my camera, but it's also going to come with a USB-C to USB-C coil cable that will let me plug digital audio into the back of one of these cameras, and that's the third way we can get audio into our streams and recordings. The USB-C port on the back of a Mevo Start will allow us to inject audio into our streams and recordings. Now in the Mevo app, I'll show you where that shows up. Again, in the audio slider on the front page, I have this wheel, and when I'm using the USB input, it's going to give me a different option that allows me to combine audio channels, mono audio, which I leave on. But again, if I'll go into my asset menu and choose my audio settings, I can see that I have USB audio device selected. It's a toggle and that's turned on. So I know that I'm using the USB port on the back of my camera to catch whatever sound I've plugged into it. And that Nearstream allows me to have digital sound go in. It's a wonderful addition to sound options. I do want to show you one more thing with the 3.5mm jack before I get off of that one though. When the 3.5mm jack is plugged in, I've got this icon that shows me I have something plugged into the Mevo, and that settings wheel gives me the option to force internal microphones. And where that might be useful, I consulted with a church about a month ago who was looking for the best quality sound out of a very old high ceiling building. And they felt like they had a really good sound using the internal microphones for the singing part of their service. But when it came to the message, they got the echo of that one voice bouncing around inside of a high-ceilinged church. They had the ability to run audio from their soundboard into the microphone, but didn't know the best way to combine the two. Well, it's this simple. Running the Force Internal Mics toggle, I'm picking up with the built-in microphones all that wonderful singing sound in an old church building. If I'll turn the internal mics off and make it listen to the 3.5mm jack plugged into the back, I can get the single voice run through the sound system and not have all the echo. So all they had to do was use this toggle switch after the singing was done, before the pastor started the message, and they had really good sound throughout their service. So really handy little toggle switch, really thoughtful feature that Mevo has baked into their software. In this menu, you're also seeing the line level versus mic level, that you have the ability to choose whether you're plugging in from a soundboard or whether you're plugging a microphone directly into that 3.5mm jack. Built-in microphones, 3.5mm jack, USB audio, 3 great ways to get sound into your streams and recordings, but we're not finished. The software that we have, that we're running, allows us more inputs. We find in this same asset setting, when I choose audio, there's going to be a section there that says iPad, this device. No matter what your device is you're controlling it with, it's going to give you an available one there. If you're in the single cam app, you have to edit your inputs. So you go to that ellipsis, you go to that microphone, and on that page that pops up at the very bottom, there's an edit input section. And the first time you use it, you have to add this device, add your control device as an option for audio. I've already added that. It already shows up here in my multicam software. And so I can toggle this device. I can toggle my iPad on, unmute it in the software, and now the microphone that's picking up my voice is actually the iPad that's in front of me. And where I find that incredibly useful is whenever I'm streaming an event. where I have my control setting right in front of me in my space. So if I'm at a baseball game or I'm at a volleyball game or even a soccer game, I have the ability to add my voice through my iPad. I don't have to set up another microphone. I don't have to worry about another input because of the software. I have the ability to put my voice in my stream. The USB port on your control device will also receive inputs. So the Ulanzi J12 that I use so often plugs directly into the side of my iPad, and I can put that microphone on me as an even less expensive, more reasonable price-wise, more reasonable option for good sound in the Mevo Multicam app. I'll show you. So now the iPad input is actually catching my voice from the Ulanzi J12 plugged into the side of the iPad there. Doing that obnoxious tap lets us know that's actually this microphone. Another really good option for audio into our Mevo Multicam ecosystem. And I have one more option to add sources of sound into our live streams. I told you there was a lot. If you are a Mevo Pro subscriber, you're going to get actually 2 more ways to put sound into your streams. One of those is the Mevo Go app that I can run on any other device. I can run it on my smartphone and use this as a microphone if I choose it in the Mevo Go app. Now it's using my microphone to be picked up. I can choose Mevo Go here, and all of a sudden my phone, which is titled Null in here, I can connect to and use it as an input for. And the final way to get sound into your stream is not through another microphone, but through another sound source. And I'm talking sound files or video files with sound to add to really level up our live streams. So now I have a video file playing my wife's chicken channel that she is lovingly caring for as she's raising these chickens we have in our backyard. I have a video file playing which brings sound into my stream or recording, and it adds so much to what this Mevo Multicam app allows for inputs. What about you? Do you have other ways that you get sound into your streams or recordings? Tell us in the comments if there's another choice that you use for great audio.